Those are some amazing musicians, man, and just people in general.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when it was the days when we had to share rooms.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get Valdez to go to sleep, man. He's wearing me out all the way out. But I love him, and he never changed.
No.
You know, that's Valdez is Valdez all the time, no matter what. Mm-hmm. And it showed me a lot. I mean, the first time I met Valdez, the first gig we did together was Keep Sweat on TV.
Wow.
Keep It Coming was the song he was doing. And something happened with the drum machine in rehearsal. And I was like, you the worst. And he took that literally. And he went back to the room and was like, I'm going to be fresh tomorrow.
Yeah.
This nigga said I was the worst. Gerald said I was the worst.
Wow.
So, and he tells me that story all the time. And it's just like, it's so amazing that, you know, people don't know where Kern and Valdez come from. They come from Detroit, but
Detroit, yeah.
All of the whining stuff, that's Kern.
Yep.
A lot of the commission stuff,
yes,
Valdez. People don't know that.
No, they don't.
But you know, like I said, these guys got history, and me and Kern's history. I mean, we knew each other before the Guy gig. But the Guy gig is when we start playing together.
Did y'all do Mary together too?
Yeah. So Kern got Mary first, and then brought me in.
Yes.
And brought Val in.
Yeah.
And then from Mary, it just started the ripple effect.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Man, and shout out to the legends, man.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm gonna tell you what's the craziest thing. All of these artists go and see each other.
Yeah.
And that's how we was going from gig to gig to gig.
Wow.
Cause it's like, yo, you see Mary's band?
Mhm.
Oh, them niggas is dope. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get them next year.
Yeah.
Hence, that's how we kept. That's
Y'all
how we
kept
kept
working
going.
year round.
That's how we kept going.
Oh man, this is episode 13 of the In the Pocket podcast. I am here with the legend, man, the one and only Gerald Geestro Heyward, man.
Yes, sir.
My guy is in here dropping now. It don't even feel like we've been out here for 2 hours already. And we are just going. It's two homeboys, two bros just talking, man. I'm super grateful for you being here, bro. I'm gonna give you 2 more segments real quick, and I'm gonna get you out of here so we can go watch the Knicks play.
Yeah. I'm a Lakers fan, but go ahead.
Oh wow, that hurts. You being from New York, I'm gonna leave that to Magic Johnson, right? It had to be that Magic era, right?
No, listen, I'm a Players fan.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a Players fan because I'm gonna tell you why. All the New York teams have hurt me so bad.
Of course, yeah.
I don't give them another chance to do it.
Oh man.
So I'm good. That year that they let Stocks keep shooting at 3 and he was missing,
94.
I'm over this.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I'm totally over this. So I became I'm a fan of the player.
Of the player, right?
Oh yeah, Tom Brady's my greatest.
Oh man,
yeah,
you're a New Yorker and you love Tom Brady. Oh, you are just breaking everybody's heart from the East Coast, bro. From the tri-state area, you're killing us. Okay.
I'm a Tom Brady fan. I'm going through a divorce right now, but I just got a big contract to talk on TV for $200 million.
Yeah, I'm
get his family Tom Brady fan, man. I'm good. I'm retiring with him. I ain't picking no team no more. I'm good.
That is funny. Let's play a game, G. It's called Rapid Fire. I'll give you a multiple choice, and you tell me which one is your preference.
Okay.
All right. So New York or LA?
New York.
New York. Logic or Pro Tools?
Logic.
Roland or Yamaha Electronics?
Roland.
London or Paris?
London.
Okay. Headphones or in-ears?
Headphones.
Okay. Now I know you have your own stick, but 5A or 5B?
It would be 5A.
5A. You have like an extreme, right? It's a little longer.
Well, my stick is birthed from the 3A.
Okay.
And so what happens is when you get your own stick, Vic first sends you a bunch of sticks.
Yeah.
And you say what you like and what you don't like about each one of them. And then what's left over, they narrow down the criteria and they make your stick.
That's dope.
So my stick derives from a 3A.
Okay, that's dope.
So yeah.
All right. Pizza or Chinese food?
Chinese.
Bronx pizza or Brooklyn pizza?
Brooklyn.
Nike or Adidas? Don't go to the Bronx for pizza?
Don't go to the Bronx, period.
Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Puma or New Balance?
New Balance.
Okay. Spanish food or Italian food?
Italian.
Yeah. Nathan's or White Castle?
White Castle.
Okay.
With Nathan on the side.
Yeah, that's right. We used to drive. I lived in Bridgeport. The nearest one was in the Bronx. Or we would drive like 3:00 in the morning. We would just go to X13 to White Castle because we didn't have one in Connecticut. That's crazy.
Yo, but you know what the crazy thing is? Now they took them all out of Philly.
Really?
So like when I go to New York, I literally have White Castle because we pass it to come home and to go to New York. So yeah, I go all the way down there to get White Castle. Yes. Yeah,
that's dope. Chopped cheese or cheesesteak?
Chopped cheese.
What's your favorite throwback brand? Aniche, Mecca, Academic, or Woolwear? This is for the real New Yorkers right here.
Academic.
Atlanta or Houston?
Houston.
Okay. Jamaica or Puerto Rico?
Jamaica.
Canada or Mexico?
Canada.
Okay. Yankees or Mets?
Yankees.
Jets or Giants?
Giants.
Knicks or Nets?
The Knicks.
Snapbacks or fitted? You got to fit it out. So
Fitted.
fitted. All right. So what season? Coats and boots and Timbs, or like t-shirts and sneakers and shorts?
Sneakers and t-shirts, because that's when my birthday is.
Okay. Got you.
Father's Day and birthday
Okay.
is that time. So I'll take that over the coats and stuff.
Got you.
Right.
Do you enjoy making the song or performing the song?
Performing the song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you prefer touring and traveling or studio sessions?
Touring and traveling.
Touring and traveling. Okay. Starter or Mitchell and Ness? Ooh.
Mitchell and Ness.
Mitchell and Ness. Okay.
Mitchell and Ness.
Jordan 1s, highs or lows?
Highs.
Highs. Okay. Early mornings or late nights?
Late nights.
Okay. And character or skill? Character versus skill. Which one?
Character versus skill.
Skill. Yeah.
That's a hard one. Character versus skill. Character.
Tell me why.
Yeah. Because you can have all the skill in the world, but if nobody likes you, who are you showing your skill to?
Yeah.
If nobody don't want you around,
Yeah.
if nobody can't talk to you, who are you showing your skill to?
Right.
So I feel like character, how you carry yourself, how you present yourself, it makes the person receive your skill.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it easy for you to be around them. And
yeah.
I heard you say in another interview, like you're with these people on stage and you're traveling and touring with them so much, you're not even with your family as much. And so you gotta be a likable person.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, like, when the one audition I ever had in my life was with Janet Jackson. And I remember, doing the audition, and then she tells everybody to leave the room, and she tells me to come sit next to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I come sit next to her, and she says something like, so how would you be if we on tour and people are screaming your name and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, first of all, you fine. Let's start there.
Off the rip.
All right, off the rip. Second of all, I was like, it just goes in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
I'm not really into the praising portion of it. Like, I don't get caught up in my own hype, basically, is what I was telling her. And then I was like, I said, I'm not downplaying you or anything, but I play for your brother.
Yeah.
So, if that didn't get me on a head trip, I don't think any of this will. And she was like, I respect that. She's like, I respect that. But it's all about for her, it was like, how you gonna act when you making this money and you're around and all these people are screaming your name. Like, I need to know, because I can't deal with somebody that's smelling themselves.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And she knew that we were gonna be around each other.
Of course, yeah.
For a long period of time.
Just feeling you out.
So she didn't want your attitude or your hype to spill over into something else. So,
bro, what's a quick way for somebody to get sent home? It's just helping somebody to get that one-way ticket.
Not knowing the music.
Okay.
Not knowing the music. Being late. Being disrespectful. Not really respecting the higher ups and the people that's above you, and taking direction. Taking direction from the musical director or from the artist or whatever. Yes. When those sort of attitudes or things are put out like that, it's noted really quickly. Yeah. It's like, the artist will notice it, the MD will notice it, the production manager will notice it, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that nigga's whack." Like, don't even if he can play. Yeah. Like, I don't like his attitude. I don't like, so Yeah, those are the things that could get you like stowed out, fired on your day off is what we call it.
Sir.
How the hell you gonna get fired on your day off?
Thank you, man. This is episode 13 with the legend Gerald Heyward, man. All right, I'm gonna bring it home with this. I'm gonna play some clips of some records you played on. You just give me some quick backstory on it, all right?
Okay.
So we're gonna take it back to the 90s on this one. Tell me about this era.
Okay.
You don't have to worry. Come out there, barefoot. That's right. It's time for you to be my girl. Yeah. It's time for you to be my girl. We've been knowing each other for some time, girl. And I don't know what I'll do without you. If you need a fix, I need a fix, girl. If you want a fix, I can give you what you need. If you need a fix, baby, you know I can give you. Oh yeah, all in all. Take it down for me, yeah. I can give it to you, baby. Get down, get down, get down, down. Come on, yeah. I can give it to you, baby. I can give it to you. Get down, down. Take it to the beat. If you need a fix, oh, I can give it to you. Oh yeah. If you need a fix, I can give it to you. Come on, yeah, yeah, yeah. Be a candy man. I can be a candy man. Anytime you want it, baby, come on. Be a candy man. I can be your candy man. Yeah. Check this out. If you need a fix, say yeah. If you need a fix, say oh yeah. Everybody come on, just clap. Come on, clap. Just clap your hands. Everybody come on. Just clap. Just clap.
Man. So I tell you,
Talk to me about that, man.
I tell you-
that was on BET, I believe.
so two things about that. One, John Patitucci's wife was playing the cello right next to me.
Whoa.
He came to a rehearsal, and I'm sitting there like I'm telling Kern, like, yo, that look like John Patitucci right there. He's sitting in rehearsal reading a paper
Yeah.
when we were rehearsing for that
Yes.
because he's waiting for his wife. It's like,
Whoa.
and I was like, yo, man, that fool look like John Patitucci. So I go over to him later on. I go, yo, man, I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but you look like this famous bass player named John Patitucci. He was like, oh, yeah, really? He's like, is he a good looking dude? I'm like, yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah. He was like, yeah. He was like, well, yeah, that him is me. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, that's my wife playing the cello, sitting next to the drums. So that was one story. The second story is the way that I got the audition for Janet Jackson was because the percussion player Terry Centil, who played for Justin Timberlake and all of them, that was his first gig with us with Blackstreet.
Whoa.
And he recommended me for Janet.
Whoa.
And it was like, he was like, yo, you know Little John? And I'm like, yeah, I know Little John. He's like, yo, you sound like Lil Jon, like you play like Lil Jon. And like, I was like, yeah, we from church, so that is. But that was that. Mike Phillips was actually in that band as well.
Yes, sir. Wow.
I got Mike Phillips his first gig, R&B gig. Was
Shout out Mike Phillips. I need Mike Phillips on here too, Mike.
Yeah,
let's do it.
And we was just coming off of New Edition reunion tour.
Wow.
So we came straight off a New Edition reunion tour, went and did Unplugged and all of that. We wasn't kind of prepared like we should have been because, Teddy was trying to figure out how to take instruments away but replace them. Because it's all machine based.
Of course, yeah.
And it's just us playing on top of it. So when he had to get rid of the machine totally, because it's called Unplugged. Like we was doing stupid stuff like me not playing the China.
Yeah.
Like it's like, yo, nah, like, but you know, we got through it.
Yeah.
We got through it, and Teddy wanting the songs to be extra fast and different little things like that. But we got through it, and that was a really good experience. You know, Joe Wilson was actually supposed to be playing Teddy's vocal parts as well with him, and they X'd that out because, you know, MTV Unplugged is like, yo, that's not unplugged. It's
not unplugged.
Yeah. So, but you know, like I said, that was a great time. That's
so dope. What year was that? It was like 90 what?
I don't know.
Damn, that was killing. You had a.
I remember getting dressed up and getting on a train and going back to New York to do it because we did it in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm. Wow, right at home.
Brooklyn, yeah, we did it in Brooklyn. So
those were the UFIP days too.
UFIP days.
Yeah, those were the UFIP days. I told you I'm a student of this thing. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to gospel. This is where the world found you first.
So
tell me about that. You were 16, you said?
Yeah, I'm about 16 to 17. Like
crazy.
So the craziest thing about that time was like, yo, we just was kids and we just wanted to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know, you kind of didn't have a care in the world back then, because like I said, we wasn't paying no bills.
Nope.
So like that recording, Stanley Brown's mother paid for the truck.
Wow.
Remember the Big Mo or somebody
Big
like
Mo.
that? So we didn't even know better that we was on Sweet Rain and they were supposed to pay for the truck. So we
were supposed to play, yeah.
Right. So Stanley's mom paid for the truck, and the way that she paid for the truck, she was the landlord. She was like the building person.
Property manager,
right?
Yeah.
She took the rent money and gave it to us so that we could record I'll Make It, and then we charge $5 a person at Bible Way, and we got the money back to give to her. But she used the rent money for that. And you know, because we was just kids that just wanted to be heard, that just, you know what I mean, we made a buzz in the city because we would go into people's anniversaries and sending up a note saying, yo, Love Fellowship, we need to sing. We was even on the program. What we was doing. We wasn't on the program, and that's how we got the buzz.
I love it, man. I love it. That was that era. It was that era. We had to claw to get where we needed to go.
But that particular song, yeah, Teddy Riley really thought it was two drummers playing that song.
So crazy.
Yeah, and nobody remembers that Jeff played on that album as well.
He sure did. Absolutely.
He played 2 songs on that album. So.
Yep. Let's go. Let's keep it in New York. Let's go. crazy, bro.
Wow.
Oh man, amazing, man.
So that's coming off a guy coming right straight back to the church, and that's exercising what I know church music to be. You know what I mean? It's funny because you know, all of those foot techniques and stuff like that was just natural for me. Like like I said, like the bass drum was my strongest point.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do like what Aaron was doing with all of these whatever he was doing, these rudiments and different things like that. But that was me. That was what you guys was trying to emulate. You know what I mean? And it was a good time because what you got to remember is with Barry playing congas and Craig, when we first got Craig to do was quote unquote the timbali thing, we used 2 toms from a drum set. And that was the first time we pulled that out, and it was like, yo, we're gonna groove with this and see how this works. And that was the inception of everybody having timbalis and all of that stuff. It's like we didn't really even have timbalis. We had I had an old Rogers drum set that Jeff gave me, and I took the 2 toms and put it on the stand and
tuned them up.
Craig tuned them up. That's what we did. And because we were studying, Sign of the Times and all of that stuff. So GFE, all of that. We was going to the movies to see Bring on the Night. Yes. And we was studying. We was in that era.
That's so dope, yo.
So so that's what it was. We just brought it to church. Like, we gonna blaze this joint. I remember one anniversary, we was tossing the drumsticks to each other. We was playing the intro and tossing the drumsticks, and everybody was like mortified. Like, it's like, yo, what just happened? But that's just what the era we was in.
That's the era, man. I wouldn't change it for the world, bro. So I'm gonna take you to mid-90s on this one. This album literally changed my life.
Okay. Oh wow. Wow.
G.
Wow.
G. Gerald Heyward is here on the In the Pocket podcast, man. Oh man, G. That album single-handedly changed the game, bro.
Wow.
Before this album, nobody was programming choir music.
Oh,
nobody was. Joe was bringing sound systems to churches. He bringing monitors, the 2 MPCs. Like he literally, whatever y'all was doing on the road, he brought it back to church and changed the game.
So I'm gonna tell you when that happened. That happened after we was on tour with New Kids on the Block, and we came back, and Joe was like, "Yo, we're gonna do a church album, whatever." Joe literally, from the Guy, when we were doing Guy, after Guy, Joe went and stayed with Teddy in Virginia, and they did the Humping Around album.
Jesus.
So Joe played on some of Humping Around, and then that's when Teddy moved to Virginia, and Joe went with him. Joe went with him. Then Joe came back. Teddy did the New Kids on the Block album. We got the gig. Me, Kern, Joe, all of us. We got the gig. We went on tour with them. After that, we came back and we did Your House. We did that whole Your House, and then that's when Joe started pushing the racks in church. Like, oh yeah,
Dog.
I got a whole new concept going on.
It was never like that changed. It changed my life, man. I'm speechless because we were so swole from that, man. Like we had never seen. Like I remember, you came to Bridgeport came to Mo's church, and you weren't there, but I think Jeff was playing then.
Jeff was there.
Keith Marshall was playing then.
Yeah,
dog. I'm 15 years old, maybe 16, and Joe got roadies. You know,
yeah.
It's the whole mindset of professional music. I had only seen that. I had been introduced to it when Mike and Nate Clemens went to play for Aaron Hall, and him, Nate, and Tom came back. Rodney Davis, they were all out with Aaron, and they came back and brought Moogs and all that stuff. Like we had never seen that before, because church was just organ and drums.
Yeah.
So we had never seen professional music before. So then here come y'all coming fresh off tour, bringing that whole vibe to church. Now we in a midnight musical. We got to wait 10 minutes for Joe to plug everything up. So everybody, the anticipation's building up. Everybody's standing up waiting, like, what they going to do? And bro, when he hit play start on that MPC, it changed our life. Then you come in with the DW and like the way your cymbals, it just was crazy, man. It was the best time in the world, man. Y'all was smacking. Like we had never seen nothing like that before, man.
It was fun, man. It was fun. It wasn't no pressure. It wasn't no, you know what I mean? I'm better than you. You better than me. You don't know how to play this music or whatever. It was just fun. It was just like, yo, I'm just having a time of my life. Like, Joe made it really easy, but like learning how Teddy went about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he brought it into the church, like, yo, we about to do something. We about to change how people are looking at it and how it's going down.
I'm a witness.
Yeah.
I went to the Guitar Center with Sam Ash back then, and Daddy Junkie Music, and we bought monitors. We was taking all our little money. We was saving up, buying like 2 little monitors that we could buy, some little power amps. We had drum machines. Like we was practicing, man. Like we knew that's what we wanted. What y'all was doing, I was like, we were aspiring to be that, bro. And I want to thank you because you opened my mind, bro. Like you opened my mind to being a professional musician.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for that, yo.
That's crazy because like I remember like hearing Mike and hearing you and hearing Skeeter. Like yo, Skeeter, this nigga is crazy.
Monster.
But so it's I've always had a very high regard for the Connecticut musicians because you guys were studied to the point where it's like, you know, nobody would know.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, bam.
Right.
Yo, like Brandon that played bass.
B. Hodge, yeah.
Yeah, B. Hodge did he did a gig with me with Chris Brown.
Yes, sir.
And I didn't even know he was that. Like, you know, like I put him automatically after that gig, I put him in the same vein as DW and Reggie Young. And
memory wise, right?
But I didn't know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know. I'm like, you know.
Well, number one, he's a Powell. So
yeah.
He's a Powell.
So it's like, wow. But at the same time, you know, I respect all the Connecticut musicians. And I respect it because y'all didn't take for granted what y'all was seeing. Y'all didn't take for granted what y'all were hearing. You know what I mean? From Joe on down. Like Aaron said to me the other day, Aaron Spears, he was like, when Joe Wilson came to DC and he was playing the keyboard, playing the chords down here and then playing the flute patch, he was like, yo, we never heard nothing like that. No. He was like, that joint was just like,
all glory.
This is the best thing. Glory and honor. Like, this is the best thing. He was like, yo, this, you know, it's like, I'm a drummer, but I'm so attached to that time frame, you know, with Joe playing the key and the way he was doing it. And it was like, yo, this nigga is amazing.
Joe is supposed to be on the show. So hopefully you see this, Joe, and you come on and tell your story because you y'all music changed my life, and I told him that in text. And he was supposed to be here in Atlanta. We were supposed to record it live, but man, Joel and Gerald, even when Jeff was playing the rock and all that, come on, man, that stuff changed my life, bro. Like, I'm forever indebted to y'all, man, for real.
Yeah, Jeff's drum contribution was really amazing, and like I said, he opened me up to everybody that wasn't in church.
Yeah,
and it was like, what he taught me how to study but mask it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, mask it to the point where it's like, oh, they just think it's just you.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
Yeah,
because that means that you are manipulating what you're learning.
Yes.
And then at some point it's going to be you and not what you studied. It's going to be like, yo, this is how I hear it.
Exactly.
So you processing it, and then when you spit it back out, or when you put it back out, it's like, oh yeah, that's crazy how you hear it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Facts.
So
that's so dope. I got two left, but I don't. You tell me which one you want. You want the Rob Thomas, or you want, because I want to hear that story, and then I got a Beyonce clip too.
I'll do the Rob Thomas.
Okay.
Never stand for this. So when you tell me that you love me, know for sure I don't wanna be lonely anymore. I don't wanna be lonely anymore. I don't wanna be lonely no more. I don't wanna be lonely anymore.
Okay, so the way that I got on this record was, I'll tell you the story, the way that I got on the record.
Yeah.
The way that I got on the record was, I was on tour with Mary J. Blige. The production manager was the production manager for the Goo Goo Dolls and for Matchbox 20.
Wow.
And we doing the show, we come into Radio City. He calls Rob Thomas and says, look, you got to come hear this drummer. Wow. Right? So Rob's like, all right, I'm coming down. Check out the show. I want to check out the drummer. So he comes, but at this time, I've been away from my wife for 6 months.
Jesus.
And so once the last beat is played at Radio City, I'm in my car on my way to Pennsylvania to see my wife.
Yes.
He came to the show and he wasn't able to meet me because I left.
Yeah.
All right, fast forward. I'm on tour with Beyonce, Missy, Alicia Keys, and Tamia. It was the ladies' first tour, right? So we have a break. So in this break, the background singers got hired to do a gig.
Yeah.
And they go to the gig or whatever, and Poogie Bell's playing drums, like they go to the gig to do whatever they doing.
Yeah.
This lady walks in and goes, does anybody know Gerald Heyward? So the background singer was like, yeah, I know him. Like, I'm on tour with him right now. Like, you know, we play ball. That's my boy, whatever. Yeah. And she was like, yo, you got a number on him? Like, sure. So she gives him the number, gives her the number. And she calls me and she says, this is such and such, and I'm calling from Matchbox 20, Rob Thomas office.
Wow.
And I said, okay. And she said, is this Gerald Heyward? And I said, yes, it is. And she said, okay, I'm going to call you right back. She hung up the phone. So when she hung up the phone, I called Teddy Campbell. And I go, yo, Teddy, you ever heard of Matchbox 20? Rob Thomas, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yeah. I was like, yo, they called me. He was like, what? He was like, take the gig, just take the gig, take the gig.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that's totally out of my element, my genre, my everything. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to play rock music. I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know the essence of that or whatever. He was like, look, man, just say yes, man. That's all I'm saying. He hangs up the phone. The lady calls back and she go, yes, Rob Thomas came to see you at the Mary J. Blige concert, but you left.
Wow.
He wants you to play a song on his record, his solo record. And I was like, cool. And then she asked me, she said, you know, how much you making per week, if you don't mind me asking? I said, with Mary, I was like, I'm making $42.50 a week. And she was like, okay, cool. So I talked to Rob about that. So she called me back again. She hung up. She called me back again. She said, Rob wants you to do one song, so he'll pay you $1,500 for the day.
Wow.
And he wants you to come to the Hit Factory, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So get my gear together. I go to the Hit Factory. Like 2 days later, I go to the Hit Factory. I walk in, and the engineer.
Did they send you a song?
No. No, it's just come to the session.
Sure.
Right. I walk in, and the engineer is Timbaland's engineer. And he like, yo, Gerald, what's up, man? I'm like, yo, what's up, man? What's good? It's like, what you doing here? He's like, man, what you doing here? I said, I don't know. I said, I don't know. This is so out of my element. He said, yo, it's out of my element too. So he's like, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. So we sitting around, whatever. All my stuff is set up. Rob Thomas walks in. And he go, you're Gerald? And I go, yeah, I'm Gerald. And he introduced himself to the engineer. I said, and he was like, man, I've been looking for you for a while. And he's like, I'm so glad you're here. It's cool. So I was like, yo, it's cool. He's like, yeah, I want you to play the song on my album. I was like, cool. I said, can I hear the song? Can I go in and kind of mess with it and learn it? Mm-hmm. And he was like, sure. So he put the song on. I go in the booth. I'm playing the song, doing whatever. And I was like, all right, I got it. I got the concept of the song or whatever. I come back out the booth and he was like, oh man, that's amazing. We keeping that. And I'm like,
no.
I'm like, no. I'm just trying to figure out the song. He's like, nah, that was amazing. That was amazing. And then he was like, yo, I got 12 more songs I want you to play. And he was like, I'm gonna need you for 2.5 months.
Oh.
And I was like, so what I said was, well, what about the rate?
Yeah.
He was like, oh, we just keep it at the rate.
Yeah.
So we do $1,500 a day for 2.5 months. So I did that 2.5 months. God really blessed me. 2.5 months. I did it. And what I did was, you know, because they're rock dudes.
Yeah.
But they were using drum machines.
Yeah.
But so they wanted me to replace all the drums. And then play drums on top of it.
Yes.
So I wound up doing that to every song, everything. So that whole album is me. Everything, all the stuff that sound programmed is me.
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks later, after I finished, I don't know, I was somewhere and Ty Tribbett come over to me. He go, like, Gerald, you was playing on this this thing that we sang on.
Yeah.
But Rob Thomas for some whatever. And I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, we sang on the songs that you played. And it's like, yo, it's like, who's the drummer? It's like, yo, that's Gerald. It's like Gerald Heyward. Like, so it was crazy that Rob Thomas, Ty Tribbett was on that.
Yes.
And then Randolph, the dude that plays the steel guitar. He was on that too, Robert Randolph or whatever. He was on that record.
Wow.
And it was like, really, Rob Thomas had a whole church collective,
of course, yeah,
on his record with a Timbaland engineer.
Crazy.
And so that was my inception. That's how I got with Rob Thomas. And the reason why I didn't do the tour is because I was out with Destiny's Child. And his tour rehearsal was starting before Destiny's Child tour was over. Yeah. And like I came back the day they started, but Abe Fogel was the drummer. Okay. And that's my heart. I love Abe. Yeah. And I never, I was like, yo, I should just go show up at the rehearsal. Because if I show up, I'm going to get the gig. But I couldn't do that to Abe. No. I couldn't do that to Abe. And Abe is still his drummer to this day. But
that's dope.
Yeah, but that was it was all a blessing. Like I received what I was gonna receive out the situation, and it was time for Abe to to receive
That's
his
dope.
blessing. You know what I mean? Him and Al Cardi.
Yeah, Al Cardi, New York, man.
Yep.
Hey, man, you are a blessed dude, man. You are an innovator, a life
Thank
changer,
you.
man. I'm grateful for your time. I'm thankful for you coming out and spending time with me, man. I don't count it short, man, at all, because you really, I couldn't wait for this episode. I've been trying to lock you down since Thanksgiving. I got Thanksgiving notes in my notes right here. Talking about Thanksgiving. So
I'm frying turkeys, bro.
Yeah, man. So G, you are a life-changing person that loves God. You gave back, and I don't ever want you to question your contribution, bro.
Yeah.
We would not be doing
Thank you.
this without you, bro. And I just wanted to have you on here to celebrate you, hear your story, give you your flowers. You got many more years to play, many more albums to do, many more tours.
Thank you.
I can say this, and I represent a generation, bro. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
Thanks, man.
And I ain't trying to be, I'm not, you know, Hollywood convention talk. This is from my heart, bro. Like, literally, you shaped the generation, and we do what we do because of you.
Right.
And I'm grateful. And I'm grateful too for that. Yeah.
Did you have Calvin on yet?
Yeah, Calvin was on before the year, my last episode of 2022.
Oh, okay.
And then I started 2023 with Brian.
Okay.
And so you are my first drum interview of the new year. So
okay.
I'm hyped. I had Tiffany Stevenson on last month.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm touching singers and getting musicians and actors and playwrights and everybody, whoever can inspire, man. So
right. My brother-in-law, St. Bullock, has a podcast called Power of the Pen.
Dope.
And
I know that name, St. Bullock.
Yeah, St. wrote Sold Out, and that's my brother-in-law.
Okay.
So I had just got Stokely on his podcast.
Whoa.
Stokely just did his podcast, and you know, God is really blessing that situation. But you know, just talking about, you know, what what mood you was in, or where were you at headspace wise when you wrote this song, or whatever. And it's just really good stuff. And this reminds me of that as well.
Absolutely, man.
It's just like, you know, like I don't know, a lot of things that have happened to me that's been good, I don't realize it until it's totally over. Yeah. You know, like that Rob Thomas thing, I didn't realize that until I got back home and I was finished, and it was like, oh snap. Like I just, you know, Michael Jackson, it's like, oh snap. I met Michael Jackson 10 times before he knew what I did. Wow. Tell me that story. I need that before you please. So, you know, being around Teddy and all of them, you know, so let me go first. The Dangerous album. Michael Jackson pulled Guy off a tour so Teddy can finish his album. So we was just sitting in freaking California, like sitting there, and Michael Jackson was paying for us to sit there while Teddy do that. So me and Joe got a chance to go to the studio with Teddy and Bernard and all of them that were there, and life-changing experience, man. It was like, yo, you know, I got to go to Michael Jackson's house. You went to Neverland? Oh man. How about we took a helicopter from downtown LA, and we get off the helicopter, and then we get into a van. We get into the van. We driving in the van for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And I'm like, bro, where are we going? Yeah. And then boom, the end of the 25 minutes, the house, Neverland, it shows up. Right. So from the gate to the house was a 30-minute ride. Stop it. Another thing people didn't know, the ranch itself is the same size as Manhattan. The acreage of Manhattan, like 2,700 acres. Yeah. That's what the size of the ranch in Neverland. So I got to experience that. But like I said, I've been around Michael Jackson a whole lot, just being in the session and sitting in the corner. Yeah. And he never knew that I played drums until I played until I played with Rodney, till I did the Rodney stuff. Yeah. And he like, yo, who's the drummer? And I was at this point, I was like, look, man, I don't care about that record. I want to go on tour. Yeah. because his price, what he was paying, anywhere from 15 to 25,000 a week for a drummer. Ricky Lawson. I've had conversations with Ricky Lawson where they getting $500 a day per diem. It's like, what that feel like, bro? Like, what that, I tell you a story. He told me, he said, yeah, we was doing the Dangerous album. And I mean, he said he was doing the Dangerous tour, and they was playing the outro or whatever. Michael comes off the stage. The owner of Rolex is standing there waiting to meet Michael. So they bring Michael off. He goes over to the owner of Rolex, and he's like, yeah, I don't really wear jewelry or whatever. So the band is playing, and then as they finish, Ricky's coming down the ramp. So Michael goes, I got it. Like, what? He's like, Ricky's my timekeeper. Yeah. You can say Ricky's my timekeeper for a slogan and give him the watch. So he walked into a conversation where he receives presidential Rolexes. So, things like that I was privy to. I was able to have those discussions. And, like I said, I met Michael Jackson and he didn't even know what I did until we got to the Rock My World album. Yeah. And I played those 10 songs.
Wow.
And that was just, but like I said, I didn't realize it was happening until it was over. And it was like, yo, I played on the joint. I remember Aaron Spears called me one day. He said, yo, do you understand that you played for Michael Jackson and none of us are going to be able to ever say that? And then he hung up the phone. I'm like, yo, dude, why you hang up the phone on me? He was like, because it's like that stuff is documented like forever. Michael Jackson is gone. None of us are going to ever be able to say we played for him. I was like, well, you played for James Brown. I can't say that I did that.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's
Little John played for Prince. He got a Prince story.
Little John played for Prince.
He played for Prince, and he got a Michael Jackson and a James Brown story. So he got all three.
And he did Janet.
Yeah, and he did Janet.
So he, everybody has been, their journeys.
Yeah.
Our paths cross. Our paths are connected. Mm-hmm. But everybody has a journey that
it's amazing.
It's like it's separated. It's like this is Lil Jon, this is Aaron, this is me, this is Jamal. Everybody has
Teddy.
Yeah, everybody has a path that it's like, yo, that's you, and that's only gonna be you, And that's what I could say. Like Michael Jackson, I was around him a bunch of times.
That's amazing.
And he didn't know what I did until I did it. And then it was like he was inquiring because another drummer, I don't know who the drummer was, played on the songs and he wasn't good.
Okay.
But if you listen to Rock My World album,
mm-hmm.
Invincible album, and you listen to Full Moon, they got the same textures. You know why? Because we did them a week apart.
Yeah,
we did them a week apart, and then Harvey Mason Jr.
Mm-hmm.
did the Brandy along with Rodney, and he did Rock My World.
That's amazing.
So
iconic, man. Iconic. We are here with the legend, man. Gerald Heyward. I'm gonna let you go, G, because this is just crazy. I could keep going all night. So 2 questions. How do you want to be remembered, and how important is legacy to you? And you got a long life to live. It's not one of them morbid questions. It's just like, in theory, you know, what do people say about G?
Well, I want to be remembered as a person that contributes something that wasn't there before I came along. You know what I mean? Always. And legacy, I just want to pass it on and leave it in good hands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love the fact that I have a legacy. I love the fact that, most groups that people are playing for now, I played for them when they were hot, when they were selling millions and millions of records.
Yes.
And now they are, just basically kind of floating, kind of floating. Yeah. And God bless me to be a part of them. I always say, when I go out with Beyonce, her album comes out and then we go on tour. When we go on tour, when her album comes out, it'll be like 100,000 copies sold, right? Then we go on tour, and when we come back, it'd be like 3 million, 4 million, 5 million.
Yeah.
I always say that we had something to do with that.
Yeah.
Us getting on that stage every night and giving this show the performance, and we sold that many records. So that's why I take touring over studio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Touching lives.
Yeah. I always take touring over studio for that reason, because I feel like I am selling records. I feel like I'm doing the artist a just service.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's been my whole thing. So, you know, my legacy is cool. I love it, but I just want to leave it in good hands, and I want everybody to always mention what I gave to the game. Yeah. You know, how I helped shape the game, you know, and all of that.
That's amazing, man. We're here with the legend, man. I'm gonna let him go, man. I mean, this guy I put innovator on his title because he is a trendsetter, a trailblazer, first of my generation that I can remember that came from where I came from and went to international stages, globally known. He changed the way we approached drums. He changed the way we dressed. You know, he changed the way how we set up our drums, how we sound. I mean, jumping out the seat, you know, we all wanted the DWs. We all wanted the cymbals and the setup and the popcorn snares and the chimes. And, man, I just give you your props, man. I thank you for your contribution to the game, man. I love you much.
Love you, man.
And I'm grateful to you for being here, man. And yeah, this is epic. This is epic, man. So you changed the game with this one. The YouTube likes it going through the roof on this one. So I'm hyped for this one.
All right.
Thank you, man. And I'll let you go. I'm gonna hit you later, bro. Thank you so much. Love you much. Wow, episode 13 is a wrap for the In the Pocket podcast. That's my guy, Gerald Heyward. Please continue to like the show. Please spread the word and let them know that we're putting out premium content on every episode. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your follows. Please like, share, and repost. And I'm so grateful that y'all took time out to rock with your boy. It's your boy, Kevin Chip Ginyard, saying have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Continue to stay in the pocket.
Peace.